So one word that defines your leadership.
Be clear, be firm.
What is the biggest strength of a good team?
Cohesiveness, and you should be very clear.
One habit every professional should develop.
Reading.
One value you would never compromise on.
Integrity.
One piece of advice you would give to your younger self.
Keep learning. Be ethical.
Hello sir, and a very warm welcome to this episode of HP Unplugged.
Thank you.
We are truly privileged to have you here with us today, sir. How are you feeling today?
Very happy to be with the HPCL family.
Perfect. So we are truly looking forward for this conversation, and I hope that whosoever is watching you today, they are in for an insightful conversation today.
Thank you.
So starting with the first question, when you look back at your journey from being an electronics engineering student to becoming an Indian Telecom Services Officer, and today the Chief Vigilance Officer of HPCL, it has certainly been an extraordinary path. What inspired this journey, and were there any defining moments that shaped the professional you are today?
See, I am son of a very simple man. My father was a Group C officer in Ordnance Factory. So when I used to saw him, that inspired me that why should not I become a senior officer in a government job. And my father used to interact with many people in Ordnance Factory, and very senior officer used to come to our house also. My father used to say, "Beta, I want to see you like such kind of officer." So from that time, my first target was to do my BTech, and electronics was very close to me from the very beginning. So I did it in electronics engineering from HBTI. I got selected in HBTI as well as IIT Roorkee. But since I was getting pulp engineering in Roorkee, so I preferred HBTI as the first attempt. After completing my graduation, at that time even I was very clear and my family was clear. They want to see me as class 1 officer. Because I belong to a very small district, Ayodhya from UP. And there becoming a class 1 officer is a big thing. Money is not at all important. Whatsoever you get salary, they don't bother about that. So that inspiration was in my mind, and I didn't join my first job, which I got from the campus interview, that was telco. I was the only officer out of 300 students who got selected in telco. Still I have that joining letter, but I prefer to join IIT Roorkee for pursuing my MTech so that I can prepare for the engineering and the civil services. So in the second attempt, I cleared my engineering services and got Indian Telecom Services. I joined in Feb 1996. Then in the part of services, I did some 16-year job there. And then suddenly I got an opportunity from the UP government to work as additional election commissioner in UP. So that was one of the most turning and defining moment of my career, because in my department, we are technocrat cum bureaucrat. The bureaucrat part is less, the technocrat part is more. But I was getting an opportunity to work directly on an IS post. That was additional election commissioner, was an IS post. So I worked there for 9 years. That was the best defining moment of my career. That was actually the dream come true.
Wow.
Where you are serving the people of your own state in the way you wanted to do that. But being a professional officer, it is always was my endeavor to have mixes in the career. See, you are working with the central government, then you are working with the state government. I was having no experience of corporate working. So after completing my cool-off period in my parent department, I applied for the CVO post. It is a very challenging assignment because the selection rate is very low as 10%. Some 300 people from 38 services apply every year, and less than 30 people get selected. You can easily correlate with the very basic fact that at present I am looking after 4 major oil PSUs because proper officers are not available, and hence they are not selected. So it's all hard work and some mix of luck also.
That's quite a journey, sir.
Thank you.
So coming to the next question, you have pursued engineering, as you said, a master's from IIT Roorkee, an MBA from IMT Ghaziabad, and later an LLB while already serving in government. This is quite remarkable. What motivated you to continue learning throughout your career, and how have these diverse academic experiences helped you as a leader?
See, I firmly believe that learning is something which should continue till your last breath. When I completed my BTech, I thought that now exams are over. I'm not supposed to appear in exam. But when I did my others degree, I found that no, exam is always the part of life. Even today, I spend more than 2 hours every day at my home to study various issues which are affecting us, like office matters, political issues, financial issues. So what I believe that one should continue the learning part. It is part of the life. Learning is not something academics only.
Correct.
When I completed my BTech, I joined MTech just to prepare for the civil engineering services and the civil services. And Roorkee was one of the best places because you will find that in most of the senior level position, students from Roorkee are there. Because there was a culture there that people prefer to join government job in Roorkee. In ITs, it was mainly going abroad. But in Roorkee, it was mainly to go for the government job. So I got an opportunity through GATE to either join IIT Delhi or IIT Roorkee. I preferred IIT Roorkee because I have to prepare for the engineering services. So after getting selected, I joined in February 1996. At that time, I was in Department of Telecom, which is my parent department. But in 2000, government corporatized the operational part of DOT and BSNL was formed. Then I found that being a company, it was more focusing on the marketing and the finance part. In the government, it makes no difference how much finances are required, services are sold or not, because it is a government service. But once it becomes a company, then you have to deliver results as per the company's performance. So I found that marketing and finance is lagging in my career. So I was the first guy, I was posted in Kanpur telephone district. So I was the first guy who went for this part-time MBA.
Okay.
And later on, you will not believe, more than 75% officers later on followed me. Initially, they said कि अच्छी भली जिंदगी चल रही है, Saturday Sunday मिलता है फैमिली के साथ बिताने के लिए. Why to do MBA? But by the time I completed my 2 years, they saw कि next year he will be having a good degree. So why should we lag? So they also joined and many people did. So that gave me a good insight of finance and marketing. Then, as you know, I joined Election Commission in 2012 on my first deputation. There I found that I was handling law issues almost every day. You will not believe, in UP, in one general election of Panchayat, as many as 500 court cases are filed.
Oh.
It's a normal figure.
Achha.
On various issues. So, being a head of the department, being additional election commissioner in charge of the election, you are supposed to reply through your advocates in the court. There were many cases where court personally called me as a head of the election process. In one case in Lucknow High Court, in one case in Allahabad High Court. And during the personal appearance, I found that it is the high time that I should go for a formal degree in law, so that I can better reply in the courts. Though in both the cases, the Election Commission won because of the technical background, the way I presented in the court. Then I got an opportunity for evening classes and completed my law, the 4th degree, in 2020. So this was all about the academic part. Again, I will say learning should always continue, and I am planning to do my masters in law if I get time after retirement.
Perfect.
That will be the 5th degree.
That means learning never going to stop.
Yeah, it will not stop.
So coming to the next question, since you talked about your varied experiences, your academic profile, you know, over the years you have worked in telecommunications, BSNL, election administration, cyber security, disaster management, and now the corporate vigilance. How have these varied experiences prepared you for your current role as the Chief Vigilance Officer at HPCL?
In BSNL, I was head of one district called Bahraich in UP. Before that, I was head of Raipur district in Chhattisgarh. During those experiences, there was a lot of learning as far as the vigilance part is concerned, because once you are head of an organization, howsoever small or big it is, you have to face everything.
Correct.
So there I found that for any decision you were taking, people were complaining to CVC directly. Every day we were getting complaints. So I thought that better to learn how to reply these complaints, because most of them were of fake nature. It was just to put a pressure on you. So I learned most of the guidelines of CVC during that time. It was from 2009 to 2012. So that gave me a good insight what the vigilance is. That helped me in taking right decision, because I was aware when I am taking a decision whether it has a vigilance angle or not. So that was the foundation where I learned the vigilance part. When I joined that additional election commissioner part, there around 650 officers were working directly under election commission. Apart from that, during election, 10,000 government employees were under election commission for the election part, apart from some 16-17 lakh people who were contesting the election. Now you can imagine, you cannot keep these many people happy, so they will complain. So again, during the decision part, you have to be very careful that decision which you are taking should not have a vigilance angle. Later on I will explain what is vigilance angle, what is administrative angle. So there also we were very careful in reading the CVC guidelines, so that none of our decisions are having a vigilance angle.
Okay.
And you will not believe, in 9 years there was not a single vigilance case in the organization.
Wow.
So for these two experience, the foundation was built. So when I completed my cool off period, I was having two options. One, to go as the joint secretary in Government of India, and another was CVO. These are the two mainly available options. I didn't prefer going as a JS, because it is again a bureaucratic kind of post. You are under a secretary, you have enormous powers, but you don't have you are again doing the same kind of work which you were doing earlier. In your 25 or 30 years of career. So I wanted to have a corporate culture in my profile. So I preferred CVO, and luckily I got that.
Wow. Many employees often associate vigilance primarily with investigations or maybe penal actions. Could you help us understand in very simple terms that what vigilance actually means? And additionally, could you explain the concepts of preventive, proactive and punitive vigilance?
See, people have doubt. First is that they feel that vigilance is the only organization where they can complain. That is wrong. For the administrative matter, they should complain to their administrative heads. But normally they complain to the vigilance, because they have a faith that it is an independent organization who can look after their issues. And that is true also, because CVO is a person who is not part of your organization.
Yeah.
See, in HPCL, you will see I have a team of 26 people, and I am the 27th one. All 26 are your colleagues. But I am the only person who is outside. So employee feels that if they can approach the CVO, they can get a better justice, because he will be a
fair decision,
neutral person.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the vigilance angle is concerned, see, all the decisions don't have a vigilance angle. Vigilance angle is where you have a malafide intent of getting something. Now I will explain you. See, you are taking a decision in a file, let's say in a tender. You have taken decision without any malafide intent, but later on it was found that that project didn't succeeded because of some X or Y reason. Now there will be a complaint. During the investigation, if it is found that the project failed not because of your decision, but because of the environmental conditions or the society condition, there is no vigilance angle in it. Whatsoever loss is there. But there is a case where the decision on the file is perfect, but you have taken some money from the contractor, either directly money or any gratification in any form. It can be a jewelry to your wife, it can be a good gift to your son, or it can be a quid pro quo. Means you have so many contractors working in HPCL. You ask one of your contractor, ki, see, I will take care of your things. You have to deploy one person at my home as a domestic help, and you have to pay that. Now, if you see this, there is nothing wrong in it. You are taking care of him, he is taking care of your requirement. This is called quid pro quo.
Okay.
He is indirectly giving money to you in a form of manpower. These are all called illegal gratification or illegal practices in an organization. It happens when there is lack of ethics in the working. So vigilance angle in any case only originates when you get any benefit out of any decision taken by you.
Okay.
If there is no gratification involved, it may be a misjudgment of a case. Then there is no vigilance angle. If any loss has happened, the case will go to the administrative department. Again, action will be taken on the administrative ground also, but there will not be a vigilance angle in it.
Okay.
Now, vigilance department has three main tasks to do: the proactive vigilance, the preventive vigilance, and the punitive vigilance. Proactive vigilance is just like building a culture in an organization. Now, I will give you an example. When we were small kids, just started going to our school, we were taught, don't take anybody's object. If a pencil has fallen, you have found a pencil, don't take it because it is not yours. If you found money somewhere, give it to the right person. If you meet somebody, greet him by saying good morning. These are called ethics.
Yeah.
In an organization, when a person joins, at that time he should be ethically taught that he is paid in the form of salary for the work he is doing. He is not supposed to take any gratification from anybody, saying that I am a good worker, I am taking some extraordinary decisions so I can take gratification. So if he is taught at the beginning, then he will have that ethical value and he will not do wrong things. So when we are doing these kind of works to educate him, build him ethically strong, that is called proactive vigilance. Preventive vigilance is where we build checks in the system so that person is not able to do something wrong. I will give you example. A person is applying for, let's say, higher studies, and he is facing a vigilance case. He knows that he cannot get a vigilance clearance.
Okay.
But he applies. If vigilance department is not there, means preventive part is not there, he may convalesce with the HR, may, not 100%, and get the NOC and go out of the organization. He may run away also.
Oh.
Many cases have happened. People were having charge sheet in their organization. They applied for the passport, got. They applied for foreign trip, they got. They flew away and never came back. So what we do, we apply preventive checks in the organization. So preventive vigilance does checking of the system so that nothing wrong happens. Another example is like in bigger tenders, people issue work order beyond the permissible tender value. Let's say there is a 1 crore tender, you can issue work order maximum up to 1.1 CR.
Okay.
10% cap is there. If you are issuing order of 200%, 300%, it is a malpractice. It is unethical and against the financial rule of the organization. Now, if the software or the system which you are using like SAP has a safeguard in the system, he will not be able to issue such orders.
Yes.
That is called preventive part. So it is our responsibility to check that the decision making people are not exceeding their limits. That is the prevention. 100% prevention nowhere exists. We always do systemic improvement part. In systemic improvement, we suggest the concerned SBU to implement those checks through which preventive part can be done. Now third comes the punitive, जिससे सबसे ज़्यादा लोग डरते हैं. See, there is a fundamental rule that if police is not on the road, we will do whatsoever we want to.
We tend to do that, do those wrong things.
Human nature है कि अगर इस बात का डर खत्म हो जाए, जैसे बच्चे को पता है कि मम्मी पापा 6 घंटे के लिए बाहर गए हैं, तो वो घर में वो सब करेगा जो उसको मम्मी पापा रोकते हैं.
नहीं करना था.
है ना? वैसे ही समाज में हम वो सब करेंगे, वो एथिकल हो, अनएथिकल हो, लॉफुल हो, अनलॉफुल हो, बाय नेचर, अगर हमें पुलिस का डर ना हो. वही यहां अप्लाई होता है. इफ यू हैव डन एनीथिंग रॉन्ग, वेदर इट कम्स टू अस इन अ फॉर्म ऑफ कंप्लेंट, वेदर इट कम्स टू अस इन अ फॉर्म ऑफ सरप्राइज इंस्पेक्शन, वेदर इट कम्स टू अस इन अ फॉर्म ऑफ ऑडिट ऑब्जेक्शन, we are supposed to examine initially what happened in that case. If there is a vigilance case, we examine in that form and recommend penalty for that. If it is an administrative case, still we recommend to the respective disciplinary authority that what action is to be taken. Now, it is our responsibility to ensure that proper action is taken and implemented for that officer, so that it gives a message to the other people. See, it is like a boiling milk syndrome.
Okay.
Milk is boiling, temperature is optimum, milk will not come out. If you slightly increase the temperature, milk will come out,
Bilkul.
right? So there are many people who are like the boiling milk. They don't have courage to cross the boundary of the beaker container.
Okay.
If they get that courage, they will do something wrong. So the thing which is stopping them is the vigilance. They know if I take this decision, I may get, and then my career will be spoiled. Right? So that deterrent is required in any organization, in any society. It is not only for HPCL or BPCL or Government of India.
It's for, I think, every activity or every action.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
See, where human being is there, he will apply his brain.
I think machine will not do that, but
Machine
humans
will not do that.
will do
Human
that.
being
Certainly
will.
will do that.
So to prevent him from coming out of the container, vigilance should be there.
Since we are talking about vigilance, so let's dive further deeper into this conversation, and let's understand that from an employee's perspective or his point of view, what are some simple practices, in a day-to-day work scenario that could contribute towards an ethical, transparent and accountable workplace? I mean, would you say that vigilance is everyone's responsibility and not just of the vigilance department?
No, it is responsibility of each and every person. See, the guard on the petroleum house gate, if he compromises with his integrity and allows an outsider in the organization, it will be a breach of security. Anything can happen. So he should also do his work in an ethical manner, though he is at the lowest position. What to talk of the highest position. So ethical working is expected from each and everybody. The domestic help who are coming to our house, if they are not doing their work in an ethical manner, you may have health issues. You may have breach of security of your house. You also expect that no information from your house should go outside. He should not go from your house और सामने वाले के घर में जाके बता दे कि अरे उनके यहाँ तो 2 ही सामान बनता है खाने में और बहुत ही रद्दी खाते हैं. Right?
Nobody want that.
Your image is spoiled. So he is just a peon kind of employee, a very lower person getting 10,000 or so, but his one act can make you suffer like anything.
Yeah.
So ethics is for everybody. For official working, there are 2 parts. What I have observed, one, people do mistake because they are not aware of the rule.
I think that's the most common thing.
That is the most common. And second, once they know the rule, they know it more than what is required. Means how to manipulate it. बीच वाले में कहीं दिक्कत नहीं है. Recently I was reading case, the file is still on my table, where people have violated the rules. When they were asked to submit their reply, they said ki sir, we were doing the work for the first time. Promotion pay recently we were posted here. So I was not having any idea of this. So I did it.
Achha.
See, you are dealing with government money. Your ignorance can be no excuse. There is a famous saying, ignorance of law is no excuse. If you are caught in a case, you go to the court, police takes you there, you cannot say to the judge, sir, I was not aware, so I did it. You will be punished for that. So similarly here also, ignorance is no excuse. So for that, mid-career training, regular workshops are required. Officers are supposed to be taught at a regular interval that your responsibility is not putting that signature only. That signature has got a value.
It has significance.
It has a significance. You are playing with government exchequer. So your decision should be sound. It should be fundamentally correct as per the rules. So if you are not aware of the rule, no excuse. Because we have to set an example. Tomorrow people will do larger scam and they will come and say, sir, I was not aware.
Correct.
See, once you get promotion, you are supposed to read these circulars. See, when I am taking a decision, I cannot say CVC, ki, sir, I was working in a telecom department, I was handling cyber security, I was handling telecom issues, regulation issues, now you have made me CVO. I don't know much about CVO working, so I may take wrong decision. It is not expected from me, na? So every day I am reading circulars.
Yeah.
If a file comes to me and I feel that I need to read, I consult so many of my colleagues who are working as a CVO and having more experience than me. They give some insight. Then I read the circular. Next day I sit with my team. See, I have to read it. This should be the decision. So reading means learning is always required, whether it is a CVO or any officer who is taking decision in a file.
That means more than the department, it should be the employee should be more vigilant about
Always.
about his works, about his doings, or wherever he's signing.
Whatsoever
to it, he should
assignment
read
you are given,
first. Yeah.
those instructions, SOPs which are issued by the organization, you should first go through them. For few days it may be a thoda hard life,
Yeah.
but there is
It
no
is
option.
only going to prevent him.
It
Nothing
is for
else.
his benefit only.
Yeah.
See, if you are going abroad now, you always carry all the emergency medicine with you,
Yeah.
because in foreign over-the-counter medicines are not available.
Yes.
You are careful now. If you are getting a post where you have to take important decision, why you are not supposed to read the rules?
Correct.
It is part of your duty, bhai. To read it, you will be safe.
Every leadership role comes with unique challenges, right? And you to have so many of them. Without discussing confidential matters, could you share some of the broader challenges associated with vigilance per se, and how organizations can effectively address them?
The drawback of the vigilance part is that you are taking decisions against the culprits. Nobody wants to get punished. Whether he has done something wrong or not, nobody wants to get punished. So why anybody in the organization will want that he should be punished? So once he feels that he will be punished, the best part in his hand is to complain against the people who are doing that.
Yeah.
That is the most common thing. You have seen in any tender, one person gets the tender. Immediately after that, the L2, L3, L4, L5, they all will complain.
They start complaining, yes.
Because they feel that since I have not got the tender, just a piece of paper is only required. Nowadays, the AI prepares a nice letter. You just sign it and send it. Your work is over. Now people are in stress. So the negative part with the CVO working is that you are punishing many people in your organization who are now behind you. Not because you have done anything wrong, but only because you have taken some decision for the sake of organization. Now I tell you, in last 6 months, on 9th of August, I will be completing my 6th month.
Okay.
2 people major charge sheet, some 17 people minor charge sheet, and 51 people caution. Out of these people will say कि Ved Prakash Verma is a good person. They will say कि यार मान लो मैंने थोड़ा गलत किया, मैं मेहनत करता था, तो इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी ना कि आप मुझे सजा ही दे दोगे, काम तो मैं भी करता हूँ. So that is the negative part, but there is no problem
But
with
what's your counter to that, sir? I mean,
nothing.
Any
See,
words?
When I was TDM Bahraich, every day there was one complaint against me. I replied all of them. None was proved, and that's why I am here. Had there been a single established complaint, I would not have become CVO. When I was in election commission, we were taking a lot of big decisions. I never got afraid of that. I will give you one example. We implemented SMS-based information to the public. When we implemented it, one person approached the High Court. They said that it cannot be done. It is not as per the statute. We had a lot of discussion in the court, and court said that there is no problem in it. For months, my team was telling, sir, there will be some decision against you. It will spoil your career. But I said, what wrong I have done? I have given a facility to the public. There was no malafide intent in my part. So why court will say anything against me? Court said it is a wonderful idea, other people should also do. So for some time, those people who are complaining against the people who are taking decision, you will be in mental stress. But nothing to worry, it is part of our duty. So I am never afraid of all these things. I will take decision which is best for the organization.
the word compliance, it is often viewed as following rules and regulations, whereas integrity goes much deeper. How do you define integrity, and how can employees make ethical decision making an integral part of their professional culture?
See, again, integrity is part of personality. It is built in from the day we start our active life. The day we start going to school, then college, then job, everywhere we are taught about integrity. Again, it is part of the society also. You will find in various countries who are very good in index of integrity, their people are highly ethical in nature throughout the society. In third world countries, ethics are slightly low. One reason, because there is a lot of disparity among the people. So once a person gets a good organization and he is coming from a background where he has not seen good money, or he has a habit of getting lot of money, so whenever he will get an opportunity, he will try to avail that. So if ethical background is not good, there are chances that he may get trapped. It has been seen that by following all the rules, you can do unethical work also.
How's that?
Very simple. See, let's say you have to purchase a mobile in your organization. As per the norms, you cannot say ki I want to purchase Apple 17 Pro Max. Government says you cannot name a company because you are favoring that company. So you will lay down certain norms. The same phone, when you are purchasing, if you are purchasing in bulk, company will offer some discount. So people will approach you. The market price is fixed. You are purchasing at the market price. All the rules are followed. 3 people came, you have given work order to the L1. L1 has quoted, let's say, 2 or 3% below the market rate. And there is a discussion between you and the supplier. If the margin is, let's say, 20%, 18 will be passed on to you. So if you see the file, there will not be any problem. But there has been a transfer of favor. We have seen number of cases. If you see the file, I always say my people, don't read the file word by word.
But how will you even find that then?
Very difficult to find. Very difficult to find. It only come into notice when the person who has done this complains. There was a case, I will not name the person, in HPCL. One of our junior officer went for a field inspection. Petrol pump in charge told him ki I will arrange a hotel for you. He booked a normal hotel for him. He stayed there for a night, food and all that. And then that person said ki don't worry for the payment, I will make the payment, you can move. That person, means the petrol pump in charge or the dealer, whatsoever he was, he paid some 11,000 rupees the bill through QR code.
Okay.
This incident was around 3 years back. Now, after 3 years, our officer went to his petrol pump for inspection and he found certain things wrong. So he issued a notice.
Okay.
So that person said, you see, I have obliged you 3 years back. Now, how can you punish me?
3 years back.
3 years back. So he said, I am doing my duty. But he said, you have taken a favor. So you cannot teach me duty now. He complained with all the documents to us. Hotel bill, payment copy, hotel later on in the investigation confirmed, yes, payment was done by the contractor, officer has stayed. Now we have no other option but to take action against the officer because he was not supposed to take hotel bill paid through that contract. So maybe I am not sure whether officer was aware of this mistake he was doing or not. It is got. So here also there are various cases where favors are transferred, but there is no way of knowing it.
I think there comes the training part that you just mentioned, that people should be aware.
If they are trained or taught initially in their induction program that if you are doing something wrong, today or tomorrow it may surface. And I tell you, maximum complaints come from the organization only. Nobody knows what we are talking inside who is on the road. The people who are in the next chamber, they are knowing what we are talking. So any decision which you are taking, everybody will not be happy. There may be certain people who are always dishappy or they are getting affected by your decision. They cannot complain directly because they know administrative action can be against them. Right? So they will write an anonymous complaint. Now we are not supposed to investigate an anonymous complaint, but we are supposed to take content of the anonymous complaint in our investigations. So that is an indirect channel through which we get a lot of information. So if you are doing something wrong today or tomorrow, there may be a problem. Again, there is a saying, crime never pays.
Okay.
So it may be today you are safe, but tomorrow you may not
It will
be
come
safe.
back.
It will come back.
So coming to the next question, having led teams across multiple organizations and departments, what leadership principles have remained constant throughout your career? If you had to describe your leadership philosophy in just one sentence, what is it going to be?
See, be clear, be firm. You should be very clear what you have to do, and you have to be very firm that once you have decided your path, nobody can alter you. See, if you are manageable, then you cannot take strong decisions. And if you are not clear, you will keep changing your stand. I'll tell you, few days back my team was discussing a case. I don't know the name of the person the case was. In the few words, I told this should happen. My CGM said, sir, पूरा case तो सुन लीजिए. मैंने कहा, I'm very clear what should happen. Because the act itself says what is to be done. So similar was from the day one. Even in the election commission, we have taken lot of path breaking decisions. The best part was my boss was also of a very firm mind.
Okay.
He used to say, do it. I am with you. And then the whole chain below me knows कि अगर वर्मा साहब ने कह दिया ये करना है, there is no option. करना पड़ेगा. I was not doing anything wrong. See, when you do something new for the organization, people will come to you कि सर अच्छी भली नौकरी चल रही है बिना ये स्ट्रेस लिए, तो क्यों परेशान कर रहे हैं? बट अगर आप कुछ नया नहीं करेंगे तो इतिहास में कोई आपको याद क्यों करेगा? भाई आप ऑफिस आए, आपने 100 फाइलें साइन की और आप शाम को चले गए, ये आप 30 साल तक करते रहे, आपको बाद में कोई क्यों पूछेगा? बोलेगा ये तो रूटीन में ऑफिस आते थे, फाइल करते थे, चले जाते थे.
It's a famous dialogue from one of a very renowned movie called Troy, that if you don't do anything differently, nobody is going to remember you.
Nobody will remember. See, my ex-boss used to say, I want my photo on the front page of leading newspaper. You have to work for that. बाद में मेरा नाम भी होता था सेकंड पैरा में, बट ही वाज माय बॉस तो उनका होना चाहिए था. वी यूज्ड टू डिस्कस ऑन द कॉफी अराउंड 12 इन द डे, नया क्या सोचा है. तो मैं कहता था सर कल ही तो आइडिया दिया, आप 1-2 दिन तो समय दीजिए. बट सी, वी वर वेरी क्लियर, ही वॉज क्लियर कि हमें कमीशन को उस स्टेज पे ले जाना है जहां इंडिया के बाकी कमीशंस हमसे एग्जाम्पल लें. दैट वॉज द motto.
Yeah.
One line motto, we have to be number one. We have to be path breaking. इसके फाइनल ब्रेकअप्स मुझे नहीं, आई एम नॉट फॉर दिस, ये तुम्हारा काम है. इसके ब्लॉक्स मुझे डिसाइड करने हैं और मुझे अपनी टीम को लीड करना है कि नहीं, हमें ये करके देना है. एंड वी डिड इट. It is a separate 2-hour discussion, 2 to 3 hour discussion where I can explain you what we did. But those things which we implemented now, even after 5 or 6 years, they are strictly followed.
Okay.
Because it was done in such a manner that people now want that. If you try to change any one of them, people will revolt. Why you are changing it? Because that brought transparency. That brought power in the hand of the people. Why they want to lose that? So not only election commission, anywhere, if your viewpoint are clear to the people that he is very clear about his powers, about how he has to do the things, people will not approach you then. वो एक इमेज होती है ना, बहुत कड़क अफसर आ गया है. हाँ. वो अपने एक IAS ऑफिसर है ना अभी, मुंडे साहब सब बंद कर दे रहे हैं. अब उनकी इमेज है कि बहुत कड़क है, बट यार वो कर तो अच्छा काम रहा ना. बहुत लोग लाइक नहीं कर रहे हैं. मेरी भी वो बगल में जो क्लब है वो बंद हो गया, मैं भी परेशान हूँ, कॉफी नहीं मिल रही है. बट एज ए पर्सन आई एम लाइकिंग दैट डिसीजन.
Deep down, you know that he's right.
So that way, that clarity should be in the mind. That is the leadership.
Okay.
जो सोच लिया उसे करना है. वो गलत और सही वो समय बताएगा.
Very rightly said, sir. Sir, since we were talking about the innovations, let us discuss about that. One of your most notable achievements when you were in election process, election administration in UP, uh, it was significantly improving the transparency and efficiency. Do you see technology playing a similar transformative role in strengthening vigilance systems within organizations like HPCL?
Yes, yes. See, nowadays technology is so strong that it can help in preventive vigilance to the extent that various cases of vigilance angle can be brought down to a very lower level.
Okay.
With the help of AI, we can examine the tenders. With the help of AI, we can examine the projects which are going on. So many things are there. I will give you one or two examples where with the help of technology, we change the perception of the people. I will give you one example. In election, you file a nomination paper. In UP, what happened? In one district, people printed a duplicate nomination paper and sold that. The money which is supposed to be collected, they kept in their pocket.
Okay.
It was a huge amount of lakhs of rupees. So what we did, we printed a nomination paper with a unique serial number in the database. It will be fed in the system in an online manner. That has stopped the sale of illegal nomination paper. Second was election duty, one of the toughest job, right? NIC was handling that work earlier. So some people in NIC used to take 5,000 rupees for cutting one duty.
Okay.
Anybody go, submit the fees, you will be out of the duty. So what I did, I said we will not use the election software from NIC. We developed our own software. And I was personally monitoring, we ensured that no duty can be cut without following a proper SOP. So the best part happened on the day of poll party movement, one lady called me from the field and he said कि sir, मैंने ये कहने के लिए आपको फ़ोन किया है, उन्नाव डिस्ट्रिक्ट से उसने कॉल किया था कि मेरी ड्यूटी नहीं कटी, मुझे इसका कोई गम नहीं है, बट इस बार कोई पैसा दे के नहीं कटवा पाया, इस बात की बहुत खुशी है. तो आप सोचिए, मेरी सारी मेहनत वसूल हो गई. That message has gone to the ground level that now Election Commission has put a software which is monitored by additional election commissioner personally, that nobody can pay and cut his duties. So similarly, we have made all the processes online.
Okay.
There was one more racket. You have elected as a pradhan.
Okay.
You will go to the returning officer, sir, मेरा certificate दे दीजिए. Why I am telling Hindi? Because that conversation in UP happens in Hindi. तो वो रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर बोलेगा आज तो बिजी हैं भैया, कल आ जाना. आप कल जाओगे, कल भी नहीं देगा. परसों जाओगे, परसों भी नहीं देगा. देन ही विल से कि प्रधान जी कुछ तो सेवा करिए, फिर आपसे पैसा लेगा तब दे देगा. वी सेड नथिंग डूइंग. All the certificate will be signed and uploaded on the website on the day of counting, and Pradhan will download from the website. He is not supposed to go to that officer. Channel closed. यहाँ आप इंटेग्रिटी का पाठ पढ़ा के उस ऑफिसर को रोक ही नहीं सकते. यहाँ आपने चैनल ही बंद कर दिया.
वो रुकेगा ही नहीं.
रुकेगा ही नहीं. उसको तो हॉट मनी दिख रहा है. भाई यूपी में 9 लाख पद हैं पंचायतों में, 9 लाख. एक पद पे अगर वो 100 रुपए भी ले रहा है तो सोचिए द वॉल्यूम ऑफ अमाउंट पीपल आर अर्निंग. सो वी वर हैविंग ओनली टेक्नोलॉजी एज द टूल.
Okay.
Ethics was in the meetings कि अगर कुछ गलत किया तो छोड़ेंगे नहीं. And we have suspended many even SDMs for non-ethical working. But we use tools there. Similarly, in our organization, lot of softwares are there. Overall, the working is very good. There is no doubt in that. Only thing is that there may be loopholes. Again, where people are working now, there was a case where people were manipulating the emails. In our organization, let's say a discount has been approved. They were manipulating the amount which was sent to them and then passing on to the customer. So, who has thought that people will manipulate the email also? Then we put check on that. Now that is stopped. So, again, wherever people are working, they will try to do that. It is our duty to do systemic improvement and ask them to implement that. Like latest yesterday, eKYC of HPCL gas booking was having some serious problem.
Okay.
2 of my CVO friends said, वेद भाई दिखा कुछ दिक्कत है, एंड दे केम टू माई ऑफिस. द होल टीम वॉज वर्किंग ऑन इट कि नहीं सर कोई दिक्कत नहीं. मैंने कहा करके दिखा दो. नहीं हुआ. देन दे वर्कड ऑन इट, improved it, and now it is working fine. So again, technology is one thing which can bring transparency in the system. If transparency come, people have more faith on you.
Okay.
It is need of the hour.
We can use it for our,
Everywhere.
on goods. Yeah. So finally, the last question for you. What message would you like to share with all HPCL employees on ethics, transparency, accountability, and collectively building a stronger organization?
See, first thing is that it is a dynamic organization where people keep changing their position 3 to 5 years. They work in refinery, they work in lube, they work in retail, then direct selling, various streams are there. So once they change their position, again they have to start the reading part. Second is that senior officers are supposed to interact with their mid-level and junior level officer on a regular manner and teach them how to do ethical working. Vigilance will also be doing that part on a regular manner. We are doing mid-career training programs. We are going in the field and interacting with the mid-level and senior level officers. You will not believe in last 6 months I had spent only 10 to 15 days in Mumbai. Rest of the time I am in field only.
Nice.
The purpose is when you go to the field, you talk to people eye to eye. That sends the message. When you send a circular on email or on a WhatsApp, that sentiment is not transmitted. When I am talking to you with an eye to eye contact and I am telling you something, that if you do something wrong, what repercussion can be, that will be in your mind for years. So it is our part, it is part of every officer to teach this lesson to the people working around him, that try not to do anything wrong. If it is ignorance, and we also know it is ignorance, we can give you one caution in the first occasion, but cannot be 5 to 6 caution in a career. Right? So you can be cautioned, you are safe. But that teaching part should always continue. Vigilance will also be doing it. All officers are supposed to do it. Always read the new circular which are issued related to your work. You are not supposed to read everything. If you are handling lube, read all the instruction related to lube. If you are handling LPG, read everything related to LPG. And always try to do new things. There is a full of scope for doing new innovations. I am right now looking after BPCL, CPCL and MRPL also. Wherever I am going, I am telling them what good is in our organization you have to do. Yesterday I was with MD CPCL in a structured meeting. I told various good practices of BPCL and HPCL and he said, sir, I am very happy, we will adopt them. Because that will give a transparency, that will strengthen their people to work in a proper manner. So this is a continuous process. Everybody will have to understand, each and every employee officer, that ethics and transparent working is something very normal thing. It is not something कि कोई vigilance officer अब आ गया है तो we have to be ethical. Vigilance officer हो ना हो, vigilance department हो ना हो, ethical working तो रहेगी.
Is already always going to be there. Yeah.
आप ऐसे समझो ना, आपसे कोई बड़ा मिलता है तो क्या मम्मी बताने आती हैं कि बेटा हाथ जोड़ के उनसे करना अंकल नमस्ते? नहीं ना, वो आपको 3 साल की उम्र में सिखा दिया गया, राइट? और कोई बड़ा आता है तो आपको पता है कि पैर छूने हैं. ऐसे ही ऑफिस में जब आप कोई फाइल साइन कर रहे हो, you have to keep first thing in mind, assume yourself as a vigilance officer. Let us see if this file comes to me as a vigilance inquiry officer, what angle I will see. That will solve most of your problem. People see कि after signing this file will be in the drawer, who will see? If this thing is in mind that it may go to the vigilance officer, they will not do. So this habit needs to be inculcated in the mind of each and every person. See, there is a very basic difference between a vigilance case and an audit objection. Audit objection happens against an office. Whosoever is on the chair replies. Vigilance case is against the person for his integrity. One case will spoil your career fully. If even you get a warning It is in the record. Up to CGM, no problem. If you go for ED, number of posts are less, number of people are more. You will be just dropped because you have a warning. If you apply for director, if you have a single warning, you will never be considered. So, this thing should be brought to the notice of those guys who are young. They feel kuch nahi hota hai. After 25 years of service, they will feel that that mistake costed me a lot. That is important. That's why it is our duty to go to the field, talk to the people, have eye-to-eye contact, tell them what is the advantage of ethical working and what is the disadvantage of unethical working.
Or maybe ignorance.
Ignorance.
Wow,
Again,
sir.
ignorance is no excuse.
Rightly said, sir. It was such a great experience, having a conversation with you, and you have touched upon almost each and every nooks and centers of vigilance. You have shared your experiences, you have shared your learnings with us, and I'm pretty sure that whosoever is watching you, they have learned so much about vigilance, and now they are more confident when we talk about the term vigilance. That being vigilant doesn't mean that somebody is stopping you to do any sort of work. It is just that you have to be aware, you have to learn the rules, the regulations, or maybe the SOP to do that particular job, so that you do much better in your own particular profile. So before we finally conclude, let us have a quick rapid fire segment for you. I'll ask you one simple question. You have to answer me with the first thing that whichever comes to your mind. Okay? So one word that defines your leadership.
Clarity of mind, and once you take a decision, be firm on it. No looking back.
What is the biggest strength of a good team?
Cohesiveness, and you should be very clear what you want from the team.
One habit every professional should develop.
Reading.
A book that has influenced you the most.
See, I don't read books much, but the one person I think who has changed the way India is moving is Nandan Nilekani.
Oh.
Aadhaar is something nobody in the world has done it. And the current infrastructure which Government of India is building, Aadhaar is the basic of it. You see at the airport, Digi Yatra, you see UPI, everything, the backbone is Aadhaar. And he is the man behind it. So we should be proud of him.
Okay. One value you would never compromise on.
Integrity.
Finally, one piece of advice you would give to your younger self.
Again, the simple advice is keep learning, be ethical. You are paid good by the companies, be happy with that. Money is something which never gives happiness. If you meet Mukesh Ambani ji, he will also say I am not much happy. See, if you are wearing a coat of 1 lakh rupees or a 15,000 rupees, it doesn't add to your happiness. Happiness is in the mind. A rickshaw wala may be more happier than us. So we have to feel happy with what we are earning. Normally we go for the money, that's why we are not happy. So we have to tell our guys, our kids also, that don't hunt for the money. Be happy with the money we are earning. That is more than sufficient. That's all.
Correct. Sir, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for this conversation. Once again, we are truly, truly honored to have you here with us.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, sir. Once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.